Hi everyone, I wanted to make you another quick screencast video to share how to write your KWL final assignment. As you can see, it's due December 16th and it is worth 40 points. While sharing how to complete this assignment, I am presuming that you all want to get your full 40 points. So first off, hopefully you were all recall doing your reading response number 4, where you were asked to make a KWL chart. And in that reading response, you all bulleted some ideas of what you already knew about helping adolescents learn content, and you shared what you wanted to know about teaching adolescents. Well, now this is the time in this semester where I want you to reflect and write down a list in basically one sentence or two of everything you've learned this semester. To reflect, I invite you to go through the entire Lovelima site, open up PowerPoints all the way from the first day, look at the syllabus, look at all of your reading responses. I would open all those back up because that's going to remind you of all the readings you did where you hopefully learned a lot. And between all of those resources and materials, it should get your memory jogging. And then I want you to begin by just simply making a list here, and I have it started right here. Again, bulleted points. Think about sharing, instead of the specifics at this point, think about the big main ideas. For example, in the past, many students have shared that they, in reflection of the semester, they've learned a lot about, I learned how to create a safe learning environment or classroom community. And another one that a lot of people talk about is they learned the definition of literacy and multiple literacy strategies. So I'm imagining that many of you learned this too, so feel free to use these ideas using your own words and in your own reflection. If we were all together today in class, I would have us, I would have you all share a few things that you've taken so far. But again, instead of writing I learned word splash or I learned a specific literacy strategy, think about the bigger ideas. Also think about all the learning theories you've learned that back up why we create safe learning communities and why we have literacy strategies. Again, the requirement is that you list at least 7. So start with that. Once you've listed that 7, I want you to go through that list and choose your top 3 most significant ones. And in doing that, you might even put them in order. For example, here's another one. I learned about the schema theory, since that's such a big one, and you could share multiple examples about the schema theory. So let's say these are your top 3. Once you've done that, then you need to begin a narrative essay. And this is a formal essay, so you want to use MLA or APA for your citations. I don't mind either one, it just depends on which one you know. But you want to make sure that you edit this and make sure that you really get this checked by maybe a friend or the Writing Center, because it is a formal paper. It's not as casual as the reading responses that you've been doing this semester. So what will you write specifically to these points? Here are 3 prompts. So how I would start to organize this is you want to be able to answer these 3 prompts for each learning point. So let's say you selected I learned how to create a safe community. You want to share with me why this learning is significant. How did you learn this specifically? Was it through the readings? Was it through the multiple class interactions? And give examples. And then how do you envision or plan using this in your future classroom? And again, then you want to repeat these same 3 prompts for your 3 big ideas. I hope that makes sense. So if I were organizing my essay, I would think that this particular idea maybe a paragraph each for just this idea. So you can see that if you're doing about a paragraph each for these ideas, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 for the foundation of the paper. And in that, you want to make sure that you are backing up all of these ideas with the examples that come from your reflection and the work we've done this semester. You also want to make sure that you're including the theories. So again, just going to the resource page where you're clicking on your peers behind the scenes, you might want to look at the behind the scenes for all of your peers' literacy strategies, because you're going to gain a lot on the learning theories. So scrolling down, I've created a rubric for you so that you can specifically see how your points are going to be broken down. I'm presuming that everyone wants the highest points. Notice this, the 10-point category. So right away, if you list 7 things you learned in that bullet list, going back here, you will get automatically 10 points. So hopefully everyone's going to do that pretty easily. Not sure why that popped up, sorry. Hopefully that's pretty easy. The next part of how you get an additional 10 points is that you make sure that you have a well-written, focused, powerfully organized paper that has an introduction, a body, and a conclusion. Make sure that you provide multiple examples when you share your 3 points. And you want to make sure that you have answered these 3 questions for each point. That is going to be able to earn you the maximum 10 points. If you only answer 2 of these prompts or 1 of these prompts for each point, you will have then shown that you've made more minor effort. And then show me that you have at least 3 direct or indirect quotes from the articles. So this is when you want to use APA or MLA guidelines so that you are careful not to plagiarize. Sadly, I had a couple students plagiarize. Please see my plagiarism rules because it will be an automatic expulsion of it's an automatic failure of the course. So I don't like to think anyone's going to do that, but I have had that happen in the past. So make sure that wherever you're pulling your quotes, that you use the annotated bibliographies. Remember the annotated bibliographies that I encouraged in each reading response. Make sure that you are citing the articles and making sure you have a reference page at the end. And then again, I'm looking for good editing on your part. So make sure that it is nearly error-free when it comes to your mechanics, and it reads well. So this is why I always like to get a friend to read my papers, or if you feel even more pressure, go to the Writing Center for support. So again, if you complete, if you are in this category for these 4 areas, you will get a total of 40 points. So they're all equally weighed, and again, in the past when I've seen people not get as high of a grade, it's because they've neglected to answer these 3 questions, and they've neglected to pull the theories and the support from the articles that we read throughout the semester. I don't expect you to do any new research. Again, I think you could easily support your claims. For example, if you were to say that it was significant to learn about classroom community, look at the articles that we read at the beginning of the semester, and you could cite them. I also welcome you to use, of course, articles outside of my class if you've learned them in another education class. But the point is to reflect on the learning that you did specifically in this class. So if you have any additional questions or concerns, please feel free to contact me with regards to how to complete this paper, or I will also open up the floor for questions when we meet on December 9th, our last class together. But again, this isn't due till the 16th. So I can't wait to read your final papers, and there will be an assignment box for you to upload this on December 16th. Okay, thanks everyone. Have a good, productive week.